Hey, and what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new construction sim. I am excited as I can be to showcase this. Just a little synopsis here just before we get started. This is basically a brand new construction sim. If any of you guys have ever done anything with Machine World 1, this was an iPad or an iOS app. And now these guys have moved into the actual PC market. So I've got a little bit of info, especially if you're a PC guy and you want to kind of know what this thing is, what it does. We're going to look at least as much as I can get to today in a relative, short preview amount of time. I'm going to try, based on the success of this stream, we'll see how much other stuff we've got. There is a ton of stuff. This is literally an open world sandbox construction sim. So we've got lots of things going on as well with this. So lots of options, lots of settings, lots of everything. So a lot of you, first off, and especially for those that may be watching later, here's what I did. I actually wrote the developer and asked him about this, had him come check out my channel. So I guess out of his approval of the sim channel, of my presentation, of anything else that I've gotten a hold of, like Gold Rush or any of those others, he was welcomed me in to be a preview partner and to be able to push this as much as possible, at least for me, and also just to, I think be able to give me a chance or a shot at having some developers kind of look my way and say, hey, this guy puts out good stuff. Let's give him a chance. It's the only way, if you're going to make it in this world, that's the only way you'll do it. So hopefully those guys will appreciate what I've done with this. I'm gonna give them an honest. I'll just give him an honest opinion about this game, about some things that I see, some things and questions that I have, because I hope he'll watch later on, and this can kind of help, really almost like a beta test. So this really is pre-beta early access. It does have a Steam page. If you're interested, go over to Trino Games. Chuck, if you can, drop that link there in chat. I'd appreciate that. You can go over there, check out what they've got, what you can do. You can check out their blog, forums, anything else over there you want to. You can even go and throw their support. So basically at this point right now, for those that are watching here, PC, that might be interested in this game, right now it's going to be PC only. And I'll just kind of churn here as I'm going around. Fixes, small features, community influence, full mission structure is going to be introduced to this. Remaining, they've got extra vehicles that are going to be coming. I'm going to showcase at least all of the main vehicles that we have now, and then they'll continue to have fixes and small features. Now, another thing too that they're going to be bringing out, and I'll allude to this and come back at least sometime throughout the stream as we go along. They've also got community choice based on multiplayer, which they were actually planning on. So this will begin to be a multiplayer or possibly a VR support. So there's lots of things that could be coming down the pipeline for this game. There's lots of options. There's lots of really cool stuff. So if you enjoy the construction sims and creation of the stuff that is just you, then this is definitely something that you're going to want to see. So I hope you enjoy this, guys. I will literally be back here after a word from 7 seconds of my intro, and then we'll be back here and we'll take a look at Machine World 2. Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to this episode. Well, let's say I'm so used to doing farm sims. So what's up, guys, in chat? Yeah, TNF, man, that's not a way to get mod stat, man. I was kind of watching going on. So we welcome a few guys in here. David's Gaming, what is up, man? Red Ranger Gaming, good to see you guys. Bo Norton Vlogs, welcome, Chuck. How are you guys doing? Tim Bailey, how are you? I'm doing fine. And what's Silver Ghost? Not Naughty Squad. Okay, all right. Evan, what's up, man? How are you? Silver Ghost, hello to you. Blue Type R6, man, what is going on? How are you? Mackenzie Clayton, hello. Alex Minecraft 55, and I think I got Evan Barton in there. It's good to see you, man. What's the link for? The link for is actually if you want to go check the game out online, you want to see anything they've got, you want to go throw some support their way. I think they're still kind of funding some of this. Some of it's personal, some of it's they're born to break even and get into the actual market even, which I think is fair to them. So let's go ahead and get started without further ado, guys. I want to start showing some stuff off here. What is up, AJ? How are you, man? So let's see. Before we get going too far, man, let's go ahead. Let's look at a few things here. So first off, let me get out of the sounds. So blueprints, parts, part queues, maps, vehicles, all these things are the things that we can, at least available right now to us, that we can build. Now, the cool thing about this, if you're playing Crossout with Raptor, any of those guys, the cool thing about this is that you're actually going to be able to build a player's designs. So if they design something, then all the parts that go into that design are going to be available as a blueprint that you'll either be able to download, or there'll be somewhere that you can put them out there to where you can actually see what is happening. So right now we've got a simple pier, a medium hangar, comm antennas, and fuel depots. Now I'm still having a little bit of an issue trying to like figure out how to connect and make all the pieces fit. There are some things that they're going to be bringing out here in the next couple of days or weeks that are going to help with that. Measurement tools, things that kind of help you, because a lot of it right now is kind of by eye, and honestly some of it is not the prettiest stuff when you actually do build it. So we'll kind of see how much we can get into that. You can kind of see from the screenshot that I had there on the actual thumbnail for the video, there's actually quite extensive designs you can do with walls and windows, doorways. I mean, you're not going to be able to decorate and put couches and tables and all this kind of crazy stuff in it, but you're actually going to be able to build something. So sizable pieces, concrete foundations, docks, piers, I mean, anything that your imagination can go to, it's it. So right now, you've got category filters. So any of this stuff, this is actually in blueprints, but if you look at parts, and we'll just start highlighting some of this stuff. Now, all this stuff, windows, doors, floors, decorations, big parts, lights. So this is just as of right now what is in the game. So all of these scrolling down here, everything's in the game. All the windows, exterior doors, these can be, I mean, there you go. So you'll be able to actually plop up, put this door in there. Now you can control the dimensions of everything. So that's why a measuring tool outside of this menu is going to be absolutely paramount to have. Indoor doors obviously can have some garage doors. So you want to build you a big old house on the side of a lake, you know, whatever, it's your design. You can literally go and do whatever you want to. So we've got all your dock stuff is down here, fenders, ladders. I mean, just really cool stuff. If you've got two mountains, you want to build a big bridge between the two with proper supports all the way across, the trusses across the top. Everything is here, all the splits, all the bases, everything. So you've got, here's your main pillars, and then you can have these heights be as tall as 7 meters, which I guess is 3 point something, so somewhere around 30-some feet. These can, and you can push them into the ground and pull them up as high as you need to, stack them on top of one another, I believe. So There's some really cool stuff you're going to be able to do with this. So the two things cool that's really cool off this is you can create these instantly, or you can actually order these and have a ship bring them to shore, and then you have to unload those off the ship onto shore. Now that's a little on the, some people would argue that's a little on the wonky side, but I think it's going to be a realism as far as you want to take it. It can be cheesy, and you could just literally pick everything up like Muscle Guy, or you can drop them down. So let me go ahead. I see one of my specials in here. Spencer, man, what is up, man? I see you in chat there. Welcome, Omar. Is it an easy game? It is not an easy game. It is ridiculously tough, man. So yeah, it's good to see you, Spencer, man. I'm glad you're back in, man. It's good, great to see you, man. And Head, yes, early stream, bro. Early stream, man. 966, that's right, man. So we're close to 1,966. Is that right? Yes, 1804 to 2000. Yeah, man. So that's cool, man. Great to see you, Spencer. All right, so anyway, back to parts. So any of this stuff here, so you can actually filter these out if you're just looking for doors, blah, 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 blah. That's what you can do. So one of these things like here is a wall with a triple window cutout. So then you would actually go back, and then you would choose your windows and go back and actually pick out the windows you want to fit into those doors. So I mean, I'm telling you, man, this is really it gets out there nice. And they've actually got a couple of nice materials as well. We'll look at a couple of materials. We'll try to build some walls. I mean, heck, I'm still figuring that stuff out. So y'all just have to kind of, you have to bear with me on that. And a map, pretty simple map. Altitude ranges, so you can zip out as far as you want to and see all terrain as well. So now inside this, now here you go. Here's a whole island you have. Now you actually can with this sim, you can pick multiple islands around you. You can also pick the flatness of it. So if you don't want any mountains, you don't have to have any mountains. If you want a lot of mountains, you want a very challenging terrain, then you can do that. Maybe you want a mountainside castle that overlooks the water. I mean, whatever, it's your design, literally. All right, last thing here, and then we'll get into some gameplay and try to make all this stuff work. What's up, Scott? Net Plays Live. What is up, man? How are you doing? Good to see you guys. It's all right, Scott, man. Don't worry about it. You guys are always welcome. Anytime you can drop by and say, hey, man, I understand life gets in the way, and it has for me as well. So don't worry about that, man. All right, so pretty much everything. I'm just going to start scrolling through. Another thing that's cool about this is you can actually do the sky cranes. You can actually do a couple of different helicopters, so you don't want to drive everywhere on this map. Driving is a little funky in here, but it's doable. But the flying part is awesome. So you've got 3 different helicopters, and hopefully that's going to expand as time goes on. So you've got a couple of different transport vehicles, although I have not used the transport vehicles because I find they're just, at least right now, there's a lot of time involved in those. So you have heavy flatbeds, a shore boat. So if you want to go around by islands by boat, you're certainly more than able to. Wheel loaders, flatbed trailers here. We've got the Universal ATV is out right here in front of us. We've also got heavy mission vessel. Now this is one thing here that you'll be able to spawn out. And this thing is, wave breaker. It's got the big old front cap. It's got a big crane on the front. So if you want to load big cargo from the thing and put it onto the shore, you can. Big pieces of whatever you want to. It does have a helicopter on the back, which is kind of cool. Then we've got the big mobile crane. Now this is what most of your construction will be doing, or at least will be done off of, and so that one's good. Excavator, simple old digger, but it's a big one, so it's actually kind of nice. It works really well. It's quick. It kind of reminds me of the Gold Rush one. And the Bulldozer actually does work, although I'm not good at it. We'll showcase it, but I am not good at it. Utility trucks, basic flatbed here. Multi-role heli. Now this is just something, I guess in multiplayer, my assumption is that you're going to be able to hop into this thing and you're going to be able to fly everybody to another part of the island. Now whether or not that's the case and that's the way it's going to interact with multiplayer, I have no idea. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be cool anyway, and it's cool to drive and cool to fly. All right, so this is your other bigger medium transport vessel. Now there's a couple things. This one's got the big ramp on the front, so it folds down onto the ground, and you can either drive things off of it or you can load stuff on here. So either way, it doesn't matter. Then you got your four-wheeler, another little small sport helicopter. So let's look at what I've got here so far. That's pretty much vehicles map, parts. Okay, yeah. One more thing. So when you order your parts, they go into a queue. So these queues come out, and you can actually locate these and bring all of this stuff to you on the shore via a boat. It actually drives up to where you are and unloads, or at least folds down the front flap, and then you have to go get your pieces. Or if you don't want to do that, you can cancel the orders and actually just spawn the pieces right in front of you, kind of sift them out like a bunch of puzzle pieces or Legos, and then start assembling those pieces. So it's pretty cool, and I think if you want to try to be a little quicker and build something, then I think you've got the option to do that. If you just don't want to have if you just don't have that time, you can roll with it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's click all that off, and let me see what time it is, because let's go ahead and move time back a little. Whoops. There we go. So 9 in the morning, and let's get. So here's your weather settings. Now you'll notice too that the wind and the environment changes depending on what your weather is. So right now it's just a cool, breezy day. Small waves over here in the bay. Now as you change this and you see more wind and more, you can actually hear it. Let's see if I can be quiet long enough for you to hear it. There it comes. Let me know if I need more volume on your end, guys. I'm just looking at my my meter over there. So as you see waves here in the bay, which is kind of nice. And let's go ahead and cycle through a few more. Now we do have more of a stormy area here. Now we don't have any kind of rain yet. There's no lightning, no thunderstorms. What's going on, Husker fan? How are you doing, bud? This is like the Ark, but no dinosaurs. That's it, man. That's pretty good. Yeah. This is end times construction over here. I mean, it's just literally This is apocalyptic, Then you got clear. So you've got some overcast, some really dark, kind of really windy. You can hear the wind whipping around. More volume, David says. All right. Let me hop out. Let me do this because this will be easier for you. I can just up it for you guys. All right. Let's see. We'll add that in. And let's go ahead. And it might get a little loud with the engine sounds and environmental sounds, but we'll see. If it is, you guys don't hesitate to let me know. Yeah, I'm just looking out. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do a little bit of driving around. That's pretty much what I wanted to say, except for this last thing. So pretty much your personal PDA here is where everything's at. So a lot of your information on all your parts, all the things here that you're going to be controlling, deletion of parts, everything, blueprints. Let's see what else we got over here. So the length, width, and height. So you actually can tell you the length, width, and height and elevation of objects that you've selected, which is pretty cool. So, you see it, Tim? Thank you there, Omar. Appreciate that, man. I'm glad you enjoy watching videos. By the way, guys, don't forget, if you enjoy it, I have to throw out my little shameless plug here. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be bringing more of this gameplay because I'm actually really liking it. So I hope you guys are, and show that support here by throwing a like up on the video, as well as throw up a subscription here with OFTG if you want to. Keep up with more good quality content here coming your way. So back to the PDA. We've got that. And let's see, what else? Let me let's go ahead and minimize that and bring it back up so it'll pull it back in. Sometimes things happen a little slower than I want them to. So there's back to that. Now here's the cool thing. Now I can actually control a lot of the crane controls. So if I need to move pieces, I can actually get out of the crane and then check them and then move back into it if I want to. I don't have to keep hopping in and out, in and out, in and out. I can move all of this stuff here as in real time, actually looking at it, setting down the foundation, which I think is pretty cool. So that's a really nice touch there from the devs. I really like that. So also all your crane support, let's see, all your crane support pieces, everything's, there it is right there and there. So I can actually control all my supports. on side of the crane, which is right up there. So if I need to level that thing up a little bit, if it's looking too wonky, you can actually set up your settings to where you actually pull through and pull up, especially if you're pulling big heavy stuff, you can actually change it to where it doesn't have any weight, or you can change it to where it's a little bit on the more realistic side. So what's up, Phase Warrior? Tyler Shireholtz, how you doing, man? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead, let's hop in something here. Let's drive it around just for a little quick hot second here. Now we have interaction zones. Everything has an animation. Everything moves in and out of vehicles, which is pretty cool. Now I'm doing all this on my gamepad. Not a bit of this is on the computer. So let me see our little got a nice excavator there. So we'll kind of drive through now. You can kind of get a chance to see how big everything is. There's just a lot of stuff up here. Driving, like I said, is a little bit on the weirder side on this game. It's not like a drive sim where you feel like a real true suspension. Everything's smooth. Everything's really rock solid on there. There's a little bit of a little bit of touch and go. You got to be definitely finessing with the throttle. But literally, there's going to be a full mission-based system, and I know probably one of the bigger questions is, well, is this not going to get boring? I think any game typically tends to get boring if there's not any support for it. So I think having community involvement, having community guys say, here's some blueprints for the houses I've been building. The community comes through in just ridiculous ways sometimes. Some things that I've never ever seen before. Crossout was the first one I saw, where guys really put out some really crazy blueprints for built cars and built things to take around. So it's really nice to see these guys putting in a lot of work here to see blueprints come from the community. I think that's going to be a nice touch. So I could drive like that for days, and it's always going to be the same. So let's go ahead and let's make our way back here to our main site. We'll showcase some of these vehicles. We'll see them dig and do all the stuff they're supposed to do. I might even have to pull my map up to see where I left all that stuff. I think it's down here though. I hope it is. There it is. There's my crane. Uh-oh. Oh no! Yep, so there you go. So fling out of anything. Helicopter's the same way. If you roll the helicopter, it's going to take off without you. See you, Chuck! Wow, I can't run any faster. AJ's laughing at me. That's got to get some likes on the video there, man. It's literally, I think it's going to run off without me. I'll be back at the site by the time this thing stops. There we go. Smoking and abandon it. Here we go. Ah. Oh, I certainly didn't plan on that happening, so alright, cool. That's it, man. Pulling an FTG. I hear you. You guys got questions on anything, please feel free to ask. I'll either ask the questions to any kind of developer, or actually, let me shut this thing off. I'll ask the devs anything that I don't know the answer to. So if you guys do have questions, please feel free to ask. And let's cut that off. There we go. We'll set, there we go, set a park brake, and we'll hop out here. What's up, Duck? What goes smooth? That's why that's why we teach you to wear your seatbelts. That is right, man. That is right. All right, so let's look at the digger here. We'll just dig a little bit here, showcase a little bit. It does have terrain deformation, so if you guys were familiar with any of my videos there we did with Gold Rush, this was no different. This has a lot of the same characteristics to the soil properties. I'm not sure if that's a patented game developing engine type deal, but there's something about this game feels very similar in essence to the atmosphere of Gold Rush, the game. So let's close the door now. I'll showcase a few things here that I thought were really nice, cool touches. We actually do have air conditioning inside of the. We have temperature controlled zones here. We'll make it a little cooler, hotter. I don't think any of that has any kind of doesn't matter. We can lock bucket. We can put lights on the end of buckets. We've got beacons. We've also got a few other things. You know, lights in front of us, yada yada. So, if they'll make a console version, I will. Yeah, I think that always comes to be part of, you know, especially gaming nowadays. Uh-oh. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, it's going to keep on y'all's screen. Good, good. I thought I'd ruined that for myself. So, pretty much this works off the joysticks to the gamepad. Now, this is going to be a multifaceted approach here. So, we'll go ahead and bump up our as a separate throttle control. And then, of course, you've got your track control. I actually really like that. So if you wanted to get some fresh air, everything's got inside outside sounds, which is a really nice touch. It's really three-dimensional sounds. It has a nice sound on the inside as well. Now you can also go back and individually control your tracks, but let's just walk over. Let's ride this thing over here. Let's just dig a little bit on the side here. Let's see. I don't want to dig too much here in the middle of my running around area because I wind up getting a bunch of stuff stuck. So, well, that's pretty good, AJ. Slide that one in under the radar like that. All right. So yeah, sure. Let's try right here. We'll lock this down. We'll pull our RPMs back a little bit there. Is that right? There we go. Dig a massive hole. There we go, man. Hey, what's up, James? How are you, buddy? Great to see you guys here, man. I don't know, you know, David. I'll certainly pose that question or do some research and see if it is. My guess sometimes is that, especially with the smaller guys, a lot of this stuff is kind of groundbreaking. Those guys get tired of the everyday, you know, kind of the mass hysteria around mainline streamlined games and decide to do something for themselves and do something that's different, that's going to separate themselves. So I think that's when you find a lot of the stuff like this. I'm not sure what happened there. Still running into things, so you guys please remember this is I'm not sure how the best way to do some of those things are. Every now and again I run through little graphic glitches like that, so just remember this is pre-beta, pre-early release here, so this is not a completely finished product. Gold Rush digging versus this one, I will honestly say they are both exactly the same because they've done the controls the exact same. Now this one, I will say, allows you to basically dig. I'm not sure exactly why that one's doing that. I don't know, it might be something I might be able to point him to in that video. Not exactly sure why. It may be something because I'm putting fresh dirt or fresh soil on non-dug dirt. I don't know. We'll see. And it may be that I'm supposed to put that into a truck. Who knows? But they've done the controls the exact same, which is the nice part. And I don't believe Gold Rush, at least as of their beta, did not allow you to actually dig out. I mean, obviously you could dig out, but you could not. To my recollection, you could not actually get in and actually change the controls and reassign and reassess those to different stuff. This one, everything's fully dimensional. So if you want to have two joysticks for just the crane, you want to hook them up, then you can have two joysticks for just this. If you want to have a joystick set up for bulldozers, then you can do that. So you're thinking about multiplayer faceted approach that's going to be coming into the game. You think about some of those guys are going to be, you know, hey, my job is to be a digger because I'm good at it. So that's what I'm going to be doing until I'm needed somewhere else. Well, that's going to play dividends, especially if you've got the setup for it. So. And hopefully, I'm not exactly sure as to what will happen later on, if these things are going to get a lot bigger, if they're going to if you're going to have bigger excavators, bigger diggers, bigger, you know, front end loaders, whatever the case. I'm not exactly sure what else is going to come from that. So let's go ahead. We'll fold this back up, and let's go ahead and we'll shut things off there. It's a little slow getting out of this thing. There we go. Alright, so that's pretty much our digger. Now we do have a front end loader, so we actually can come back and we can you know, scoop all this stuff up. We can put it in. Now we don't actually have a you know, like a dumper trailer. We've got a utility trailer, but I'm not really sure if any of that is supposed to be made. If any of that is really supposed to be made to actually put dirt in and haul it somewhere and dump it. I'm not exactly sure what they've got going on here. Messed up some dirt here trying to do a do a pass early on, but let's take a peek here at the Bulldozer. Yeah, I'm not sure, Evan. It would be nice to have a little bit slower guy. He's basically running across the field, but the one thing about this is got a very realistic feel to sitting in the cabs of stuff. That's the one thing I will give them. That's really good on that front. Alright, let's see. So we'll lift the blade up. Alright, let's see if we wanted to smooth this out. Just need to. Now I've got a couple of different ways here. We can do the blade up front. You do have a third person kind of view on this. And then basically this thing's going to do, you know, what you would expect for it to do. It's going to run in. Now they do have a couple of very nice things in here. Let me get off to the side of this because I was trying to test this out a little bit earlier here. So they've got two different modes in here. They've got a set where this thing will basically set where it's at. It won't move. They also have a mode right here, just the switch on the very far right here, so it will actually stay at sea level. Or if you pull that one off, go to the next one, then this one is more ground form where it's going to follow the ground more. It's going to take less off. You just got to be a little bit more careful with it. I've been trying to see if I'm doing it right, if there's anything that I can, you know, that I can do a little bit better. But you just basically have to run it down into the ground and then it does the rest, and it does it a little bit better. But it's more or less like smoothing. So if you had big huge areas there where you really needed a little bit more of a smoother kind of surface, or had a couple of humps and bumps that you really needed to kind of work out of the way, this right here is just going to kind of does that. The Ripper, I'm not sure if it does or not there, David. I've been looking at it. My only assumption with the Ripper is that when it goes down, maybe all it does is actually smooths out what's behind. But I really can't honestly tell that it does. So that's going to have to be something that I'm going to have to ask the devs if that is just an eye candy piece or if that actually has some type of functionality on it. Maybe he's really old and brittle. This is the one thing of this game that I will just be honest with you. This is the one thing I'm probably the most unsure on, and that's just because, you know, I don't really know what the heck I'm doing when it comes to a Bulldozer, and I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to work in the sim. Am I supposed to, you know, my question would be, am I supposed to be able to completely flatten an area like you can in real life, or am I supposed to dig it partially away with an excavator and then come back in? You know, is it little by little? I know if you're, you know, like just kind of comparing it to like the silage with Farm Sim. At some point, this thing always takes a dive into the ground, so it might be something that needs a little bit of love on it. You can see it kind of starting to go now, and then it'll start diving in there. So that'll be the one thing as to whether or not I'll be able to actually get back in here and see if this actually gets a little bit of a love, or it may be something that the guys over there can help me out with, especially too if they see this video. They can give me a clue in. So let's just try. I'm gonna set this as close to the ground. Actually, I'm gonna get down here if I can. without falling in. You need a wide hole first. Yeah, well, it's possible. I mean, it's possible. I just wonder how much digging needs to happen because the digger is a pretty slow. It's a pretty slow dig. I'm not gonna lie. The other thing I thought too, you know, even if it's just a workaround, can I put a concrete foundation and then basically bulldoze the concrete foundation flat? Now that I don't know if that's going to be an option, but you know, it's where my mind originally went. The modeling on the vehicles, though, I think is awesome. I think they've done a really good job there. And also, you can pitch the blade in and out. Not sure if that necessarily does anything, but it surely couldn't hurt. And I guess if you wanted to, this actually might be the sea level one. I believe it is. So I think we're on. Let me check. I believe this is the sea level. So this is going to keep it right at level. It's not going to let it go anywhere else. So this one probably, yeah, it's going to start cutting in there. So I guess if you could start, maybe start right here. I don't know. The thing is, too, some of this stuff, especially with the bulldozer, actually deletes and moves it away. It's not like it comes in there and, you know, just pushes a big pile and you have to remove that pile. It's almost kind of like moves it, deforms it, moves it out of the way, and then moves on to something else and just kind of, you know, like I said, it just kind of pushes it out. So let's try that one right there. We'll move over to a fresh side over here. Alright, so we'll move this down, and I believe we've set that, and then do that. I think is what we do. Bird stay in the middle of those. Yeah, give me some bulldoze lessons. Yeah, it's tough because it's kind of like you know, farm sim and silage, and it takes a while to figure out. It takes a while just to figure out exactly where you want to go, how you want to do it. Exactly the speed you need to go, because if I was leveling out something, I think I probably would have already been fired by now. I always go the wrong way with my blade. There we go. What's going on, G-Force? How are you, man? So, and this is the one thing that I've had. So hopefully, if the guy's watching, one of the devs and stuff watching this later on. So this is the main problem that I always run into with this game, or well, not with the game, but with this particular piece of equipment. It does have tutorials with all this, which is pretty good. I've gone through all those a million times, but I typically tend, and you guys, especially my farm sim boys, are going to know exactly what this looks like. This is going to look like your farm sim silage pits when you get that thing too close on the ground and that thing starts humping and bumping and jumping. So I've neither got my blade angle set too steep or I've got it set too far in the back. And like I said, I'm not really sure whether or not the ripper actually works on that or not. So we'll move on to something else, because I still haven't quite figured out the art of leveling the ground and figuring out exactly what I want to do. So I have no idea, David, where I'm at, man. I have no idea. Let's go ahead and shut that down, because we got helicopters, we've got cranes, we got all kind of stuff in here. So I definitely want to try to get at least a concrete foundation down, maybe get some walls up, maybe we can suspend some things here with the crane, get maybe something at least assembled and built. Gotta have something out here. And you can kind of see, like, it's starting to kind of bring out level where I had the original thing, and it's pulling some of that dirt out and leveling. I'm just not exactly sure how to do that, so I may have to get some quick tips and pointers from the pros. Oh, sorry, real world. I'm in North Carolina, David. Yeah, we were good, Patrick. Man, thanks for asking. So that's pretty simple here. Just a regular old cab front. Does have a camera for rear view, but it does have some pretty cool things out. So we'll pull that PDA out. Let me actually step up on the back side here. So as you can see, we're a little bit on the front right low, and our rear right there is actually a little bit up in the air. So let's see if we can't pull this down a little bit to level. So I'm going to activate my crane, and I'll do supports here. So pretty much, let's bring everything. Let's bring these three. Let's extend all of those. This is what I love. This is so cool. Love this stuff. All right, so those are extended all the way. Now let's go ahead and let's undo that one, and let's lower those front ones. Let's see. They should actually pick the front end up, or at least up until they are. There you go. I love it. So I'm not exactly sure, but the centering dial there on the bottom left of our PDA screen does not actually center. I'm not sure if it's supposed to. Or if it's just kind of there to look, and really none of this stuff really matters. I don't really think you really have to have these supports out there, but I do like the individual controls. So we can at least put this one right here on the back down just so it doesn't go anywhere. So there we go, and then the right one back here. This one would come out, and you'd have all four, but this one would just need to come out just a little bit, enough to provide the stability in case you had a little bit of kickback or something in there. So. All right, so there's that. So let's fold the PDA away for right now. Let's go ahead and let's hop up in here. Well, that's the thing. I've done some equipment. I've done some excavators, bobcats. I mean, pretty much backhoes. I mean, I've done that kind of equipment. But actually stepping into a real bulldozer in real life, I'm sure differs than what it does in this game. So, it's like farm sim. Leveling silage, I'm sure, does not actually look like it does inside a farm sim. So you just kind of got to learn how to best operate with everything. So it's all good. So actually, really nice crane control. And we'll zoom in here. So we've got lights on the interior, which are really, really good. So nice, good. Let me just do this. Let's go ahead and. So you've got nice lighting on the inside, and then we'd have exterior roof and the boom, and then we could have we've got strobe lights as well. Yeah, so you got strobe lights up there on the boom, and then if you wanted to, you could always go ahead and throw your main warning lights on, and that gives you that nice beacon. But it's kind of annoying after a while, especially I'm out here by myself. Bobcat does not count. It certainly does, man. It certainly does. Not any Joe Blow can just walk out and do it. So anyway, this thing goes out a really, really, really a long way. So with sports down, you'll be able to support a ton of weight with this thing. I actually really I am messing with the crane. It's tough. It's especially when you get pieces actually attached to it. Now the cool thing is we do have a nice camera on the side here. Now, the one thing that I was talking about earlier, and we'll see this as we get us some pieces here, which is going to be one of my next things I want to do. There we go. Now, you can leave the crane going, so it's everything stays on like it's supposed to. But you can actually come out here. So if you've got a cement foundation, which hopefully is going to work, we're going to try this out. I'll be able to control the lift, the rotation, the pitch in and out, and the lateral movement of the crane from the PDA, so I can precisely put something where it needs to go on there. So we'll check that out. I'm hoping that's going to be pretty cool. So let's do one other thing. Let's go ahead and move it back to daylight, and let's spawn us a couple of choppers. All right, let's see. Whoops. All right, let's move that back. Vehicles. So we've got 3 different kinds. We'll just we can do either one of these. I'll probably have to go through and look at a couple. We'll just look at this one first, because I think one of these I'll probably have to assign a couple of key bindings to. I think. What's going on, G&S Plant Hire? Hope you're doing well. All right, so as you can see, you've got everything. So avionics, clutches for engaging your rotors, master batteries, alternators, and generators are right beside your amp meter. Oil pressures, a cyclic pressure, your manifold pressures, everything that you would expect to need to work in a helicopter works in this sim, and everything takes time to happen. So it's not like GTA where it automatically spins up and then you're out of here. This actually takes a little bit of time to just get everything up and rolling. So let's look at a few things here. Let's cut our master battery on. Avionics. Cut those on. There goes, our amps are up, so we'll flip generators on. Alright, so you've actually, all these gauges work. So you've got your horizon meter here in the very top dead center, vertical speed, altitudes, knots for your speed. And I actually got the mile per hour in there to tell you how fast you're going, forwards or backwards, and as well manifold pressures there. That's mainly for helicopter speed. That's based off of your pressure on, I guess, is from the collective versus the throttle and RPM. So it has a pressure in there that it builds up that when it starts spinning. So if it gets too hot, then you'll start to lose lift, and your collective and your throttle, RPMs, everything start coming down, and you will fall back down to earth. So let's see if we can't get this thing off the ground. Alright, so there goes that. I'll hear it start spinning up here in a minute. And you can see our RPM coming up there on our rotor. Engine RPM's already up, rotor RPM's coming up, and then from there on we can actually have manifold pressure will start to come up. So let me just check one thing. I want to make sure that I have the correct settings on that. Aircraft. Alright, so collective is right stick up, yaw is right and left bumper. Let's just do this. Let's make yaw increase that way, speaker increase that way. Alright, we'll see if this works. I hope it does. Yeah, it's okay. The funny thing is the shadows, though, David, have him. The shadows have him as a headless shadow. All right, so I've increased throttle there. It's all the way up. All right, so my collective is not the one thing that's working. All right, so I've had the issue with. Let's turn. Oh. So right stick up, let's do collective, right stick Y, let's see what that does. There we go. Oh no! Oh well, let's reset it. It's very much real life, because if you do that too fast in real life, you'll do the same thing. Yeah, well, some of the ones you can't actually have that on there, but yeah, it's unfortunate that the IC control and interactive control. Hey, thank you there, Iron Run. Glad that wreck there and almost killing myself and pulling FTG got your subscription. Appreciate that, bud. Let's see how fast. Now we've actually got that squared away. Let's see what we can do here. I might be able to do this a little faster now that I'm got one under my belt. All right, alternator on, generators on, nav lights don't really need those. We can, sure, why not? Alright, let's go ahead and spin that up. We also have a map here. And I think the thing is, I've just got to get off the ground a little bit slower. Yeah, well, I know that, Bird. It's just a question of I went too fast with my collective. It's not in real time, so if I move it up just a little bit, it actually moves up a whole entire notch. Plus, I'm not exactly sure if my yaw's the right way either. Alright, so there comes my percentage on RPM is coming up. That's a good point. Ah, much better. Hey, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. Well, that explains it. Okay, how can I do this? This might get a little dicey. For some odd reason, aircraft. Yeah, that's right. Pitch. There we go. Roll. Yeah, it didn't save that roll. That's why I did it on the first time. So I would have been all right now. Oh man. All right. I'm sorry about that. Now that my stuff is all set, let's see if I can just flip it. I had no idea I lost my controls on that one. Let's see if I can just flip it, then I'll be good to go. Let's see where we at. Controls that. There we go. Flip it over. Still running. That's good. Yeah, y'all probably getting a good laugh out of this, man. Alright. Whoa, gosh. Now, I do have to get down because there is a limit to this map. It won't let you go so far. There we go. Now we're a little bit more stable. Jump out. I don't know if it would actually work. It would just kind of crash me through the map again. Now landing might be another feat. I'm not exactly sure on the landing part. Pretty good with taking off and flying. You definitely got to take your time. So I guess you could see. Bird, that's the first thing. Now trying to land it. All right, let's find us a nice spot here. This looks nice and safe. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, well. Yeah, okay. It was close. It was close. All right. There we go. All right. So that one's good. Let's look at another one. Yeah, I'll destroy this one as well. All right, so let's do this multi-roll faceted heli. This one's a little on the slower side. It's a little on the A little tougher to get up in the air. But this one actually has a lot more. So we've got actually left and right are actually turbine and engine controlled fuel flows to both. A little bit more gauges out there, so this is a little bit more advanced helicopter. Let's see. Let's grab some avionics, master battery. Sure, we'll turn some cockpit lights on if we need them. Nav lights, master. There we go. All right, that looks good enough for me. All right, APU on. APU is basically our onboard generator. So we actually got to cut the flow on to that. Now see that left pump there controls our left engine and our APU. So APU will generate all of our necessary power here till we get on startup. Let's go ahead. We'll start our engine left. Fuel's up. Let's see if it fires up. Well, the thing about it, Evan, I never actually flew helicopters. I just flew planes. All right, so we've got a solid green there, so that one's good to go. All right, we'll turn the pump on. And right flow pump fuel is coming on. Right pump's up. There goes our power. And let's go ahead and turn our APU off. Alright, so waiting for a few things to come up. Rotors come up, engines are there, RPM, everything's stable. Obviously, we don't have any torque. Our oil pressures and temperatures, engine temperatures are good. So let's go ahead, let's throw it into flight mode. Let's see what happens. There goes our engine. Rotor's starting to come up. 10 out of 10. Hey, what's up, Dr. Ill? How are you, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stomping in. Alright, now I do think I actually have to turn the parking brake off. I think. Oh, what the heck? Oh well, sorry about that. Yeah, you called it right, man. AJ called it, man. Brother of God. I'm not sure why it did. It's like it didn't save. It didn't save any of my pitch, but it said the right trigger there is collective, right stick, yeah, heli throttle, triangle action, yeah. I mean, that's what I don't understand, man. I'm not exactly sure why it took a dive off to the right when I was going back to the left. That's a little on the frustrating side. I've done it plenty of times before, but I did start a new save game because I had stuff strewn everywhere on the map. So let's look at one more, and I'll probably crash it too, but that's okay. This is literally, I've had this game for like a day and a half at best. So you're literally getting the best of the best here. Let's go ahead. Let's order us up a vehicles. So we've got the last one that we have is the LiftMaster. Sorry, not that one. It is, there it is, the Cloud Crane C92. What's up, Benson? How are you, man? Oh, it's not going to let me. Oh, that's not going to work. Spawn instantly. Yeah, that's what I want. So this one, I guess if you're going to do the big stuff, this one's going to need to have, you've got a winch on the bottom. So if you want to carry the big stuff around the map, this actually was going to do it. I guess I've yet to actually do anything of that sort and that nature. So you guys are just going to have to Gonna have to bear with me on that. Free equipment training. Be on camera filming. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's got to be in my settings and my controls, because all right, so we'll do that. Instrument panel lights. There's APUs running. Pretty much, I think I'll be actually ready to go. I get pretty quick at this, because once you wreck them so many times and start back over, it's all good. So we got a lot of things. We've got lifts, winch, hold positions. We've got hook cams. So actually, this thing can hover in one place, and you can direct it. So that is at least they have that for those that are not as gifted as I am in the realm of flight. All right, so we'll go and fire this thing up. APU's up, flow to the left engine's going, masters, generators up. So this thing should start spinning here, and then we'll crash this one again. All right, there comes the right engine's coming up. I don't know if we can pick it up or not. All right, let's start that right engine. Now we got the fuel and everything going to it. Alright, everything's stable to even, so let's go ahead and put it into flight mode. Yeah, come on, guys. Man, show a little support, man. You guys are. I need cheerleaders, man. I don't need complainers, man. I need cheerleaders. All right, here we go. We're not going to crash it. We're not going to crash it. All right, waiting for a rotor to get up into the green, right there. So once it hops up there into the green there after the 90%, then we'll attempt to go ahead and take off and see what happens. Animations on these rotor blades are absolutely fantastic, as you can see. They are incredible. Alright, let's see. Alright, so that's up. Let's just... Oh, thank you, AJ. Appreciate that. What's up, Turbo Plays? So, yeah. Alright, see, I can control there, but it was already going over. It's already going. Yay! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Alright. There's our little small area down there. Yeah, they're just very, very, very touchy. I mean, I'm looking at how fast I'm putting on altitude, and it's a little on the too fast side. Too much confidence. Well, we're going to crash right now. Oh, okay, we saved it. easier said than done there. Let's see if we can activate. I can control, and let's see, we'll turn on, because we do have a really cool, oh, don't get too crazy there. Alright, so now we can actually put this thing in level flight automatically, which is nice. So it'll control everything. So let's go ahead, let's turn on, so there's our hook. Now, the good thing is I can actually control the lift from here, so. Put that, we'll actually take this out. Yeah, so we take that out of, so we can leave that as our emergency. Gotta see where I'm at. I was trying to, Oh, I did it without crashing. It wasn't very pretty, but I did it. Alright, should be able to, they'll let me out. Oh my god! Yeah, so okay, so the idea is, yeah, you'll be able to use that, and actually that works better because I actually used the assist, which basically keeps it in level flight, but it does give you a little bit of control. So that's how you'll start pulling your stuff around and start maneuvering things around. So that's actually kind of cool. So JV29, man, I've pretty much done everything. Anything from excavators to bulldozers. We can do helicopters, 2 different helicopters right now, a couple of different trucks, a mobile skylift crane that we're actually going to go over and just mess a little bit with. Let's, I'll tell you what, let's just pull it out here right beside the helicopter. We'll throw out some supports here. We'll throw some foundations. I'll show you just some parts, you know, putting some parts down on the field and actually trying to assemble a few of those things via the skylift crane. I don't want to go too long because I want to actually save some of this gameplay and put some other stuff in as well. Some other videos coming up here in the next couple of days. Would be nice to put some of that stuff in. So let's. I'm just going to kind of mosey right down here. That way I can put something up here halfway on level ground. I normally would have the dozer to level it out, but I'm still kind of literally, you know, getting my feet wet on that. Let's go ahead and add in another. We'll reorder. And only will spawn one. So at least as of now, I don't think you can have multiples in here. Sinking the truck. Now you actually won't do that as easy as you did on Gold Rush. Honestly, I mean that was pretty awesome in Gold Rush. Now this one you'll be able to do the same general feel to. I mean you'll still be able to do, you know, pulling parts and getting stuff in and out. We're just going to construct some things right over here. I just want to get this out and actually let's leave it on. Why not? Let's fold us some supports out here. I know this thing will slide on us. So we'll pull our PDA up here. And let's go ahead, let's do some crane control. Alright, so let's do... Alright, so there goes those. Now, let's... we'll move this one out some. Don't have to really... This is going to be our... Oh, need to go down. This is our one here that's already done. So let's lift the other ones up. Now that we've got that one on the ground, let's lift all the rest of them up and see how level this thing looks. There you go. Good enough for me. Alright, so now the idea is that you can construct anything from here. So houses, you can skylift parts in here. I think you can actually hook these skylift cranes. You can actually hook these up to some of the items here. Not like this big crane, but some of the bigger ones. Some of the not the foundations, but the walls, doorways, big pillar pieces, bridge pieces. All those can be manipulated with the sky crane. I mean, with the big helicopter crane. So let's pull a few pieces out here. Let's at least get us a nice, good, standard concrete. Let's go ahead and filter all this out, and let's do so floor. Is that where it's at? It might be under basic. Here you go. Concrete foundation. Let's make it pretty thin, but let's make it really wide. And actually, let's do a 16 by 16. Now this is in meters. I would like to see it in imperial units, but you know. Now it's actually going to create it instantly. You can't actually have these brought in. So you know, once you see your little spines here, spines, you see them go in. Once those are actually green, then that means you can. You can see them from that front. So you can actually turn these, manipulate the objects, especially when you're first doing it, just enough to get them set the way you want them, and then push them right down into the ground. Now, this is not going to be ideal because I don't have exactly the right amount of, the right level land. All the structures, at least what I can tell so far, everything happens on a level ground. So once it's set there, then it's there. Now, you could add pillars on the front here if you wanted to add some type of support. I don't know if you dig those out or any kind of that kind of thing. I'm not really sure, but at any rate, let's go ahead and pull us a couple of walls. Now those you just have to remember starting off. You might want to write some stuff down. Maybe you want to do. Oh, look at there! You can even put a helipad on it. Let's just do. Just want to do a wall with a wide window. Let's do rounded. All right, so let's do 2 of these. This 15. So you could do 7.5. Oh nope, you're only going to be able to do 5 meters. So. Yeah, why not? Let's do them 5. Let's do them height 2. Sure, why not? That works. Let's do 2 of those. Whoops. So wherever you do, those are, that's not really the best representation there. We'll see if this will work or not. I don't know if it will. Hey, what's up, Johnny? How are you, man? So no, there is a there's a big missions based everything. So and by that I mean everything. You're going to have missions that you can get credits. Now a lot of the vehicles and a lot of the building tools you're going to need early on, they're already they're going to, you're going to have those stuff, just because it'd be pointless to have you, building around and manipulating random stuff. Whoops. All right, so here's where the construction sim part comes in. Once you get your once you get your your controls underground here. Let's see. Let me. There we go. So there's our wall with a window. Now, the thing that I want to know. Now this is what I was trying to find out earlier. So I figured we'd just do this as a little bit of a test. We'll see how this works. Now supposedly I can hop out of this thing. Everything's still going to be running. I can pull up my PDA. We'll walk up on the concrete and foundation, and we should be able to turn and maneuver and mass this thing as much as as possible. We're going to see though. Gold Rush, I think, is the end of September, man. I think. All right. So is this? Yeah, I can't remember. Alright, let's see. Connect selected parts to others, manipulate selected parts. So I think maybe we have to select that part in particular. Alright, so there's, yeah, that. So let's see, can I select it? Let's see. I don't know if I can select it now that it's actually been picked up. Alright. Actually really good texture on that concrete. Oh, you know what? Scracker. Okay, that was the order. Okay, there's our map, and okay, there's that. Okay. So now, if this is correct, this should. Yeah, there you go. If you needed to, that's pretty cool. You can actually connect everything right here. That is nice. Alright, so there goes our, uh-oh. Easy there, killers. Easy. So I wound it up there too tight. Alright, let's just see. I'm going to drop this right there. Alright. You obviously wouldn't do that. I want to see if you can pick up from the top end of it. What's up, George Cunningham? How are you, man? Let's see. I hope you guys are halfway enjoying this new construction sim. It's definitely interesting, to say the least. It's tough. I will say that. I've not played too many tough game as this. This is out there. So should be able to connect just the ends. Ah, there we go. Yay! We did it! Woo! Alright, so I know it's an ugly attachment, but it is attached to the concrete, so yaha. There we go. So I guess now, if you wanted to, you could actually pull that back out, twist it around, put it right up next to the foundation. Now you can come through, at least as far as I know. I'm going to see if you can or not. Yeah, you can actually. So it's telling you that it's connected to this piece right here. So we can actually, I think, yeah, so we can disconnect that. Now if you wanted to, you could be totally unrealistic about it. You could say, okay, well, you got it here anyway, so let's let's put it somewhere over here, then you have to twist. You can turn it. So, you know, the kind of the limitations of what you do with the certain pieces that you have in any way, shape, or form is it's really up to you as to how you create them. So if you want to do, I looked through some of the barns. I looked through, they're kind of barnish. They're really kind of categorized them as hangars, but they look like barns. They look like sheds of, you know, certain style. Now, let me see what my connect is. I can't remember. Okay, yeah. That resets basically to have it level back again. So that's cool. And then your select opens it down. So once you actually get some walls set up around the outside of this, then these things would attach to those walls perpendicular to how you're facing things. So I do know that. So that'll be something that maybe we can try doing here on the next episode. Well, I will try. There's our headless shadow. That's kind of freaky if you ask me. But yeah, I'll try to, man. We'll let me work some more with building walls and putting this stuff and connecting them together. Mainly just wanted to do a, as you can see on my helicopters, just completely strung across the entire screen. Mainly just wanted to do a video of just the vehicles, of the overview, of hooking some things up, of running some things. Now I know partially in this PDA, now that that is selected. Let me just see before I go here. I want to say that I wanted to say that I had control of this, but it's possible that I don't. Alright, connect, select parts. Alright, so now I have control of that. Okay. Yeah, see, there you go. So now you can do a little bit more of a fine-tune, you know, with your parts. You'll just have to stand off to the side. I guess, yeah, you'll have to stand off to the side so you can actually see what you're doing. Yeah, like this. And then pull it back up and then do it. So that way you can actually walk around and do the same exact thing with it. But, yeah, it's a little bit better, so. What's up, Nathan Smith Wick? How are you, man? Hope you guys are doing well. Don't forget there, throw some likes on the video if you do enjoy it. If you want to see more of this, it's a challenge. It's kind of slow, honestly, to kind of starting off with. I like it, though. It's just different. I can't wait to really, I'm going to write the devs and see about adding in some other stuff to see, do I add in pillars on the front? Do I add in, you know, multiple stacks of concrete to make a base, which is my assumption is that if I've got an unlevel ground here, then I can put a base in. And I can actually, let me deselect that. There we go. So basically what I'm going on and on about is doing something like this. So let's take us a basic concrete foundation. Like this. Let's make that height maybe, let's say 16 by 16, 5 meters thick. So see, now we've actually got a really thick piece of concrete that when we put it in the ground, you know, like the whole thing gets put into the ground like a foundation. So that might be the better way to go about this. So yeah, there you go. See, that right there already looks better. And that way, yeah, see, there you go. That's what I needed, man. That's what I needed. I just didn't think that one through all the way. So there we go. So now you would have a concrete base no matter what your foundation was, as long as your concrete was deep enough. And I guess you could do multi-level faceted approach to that as well. So if you want to go in and throw in another one, maybe don't make it quite as thick. Maybe make it, well, width needs to be 16. Let's see. Well, no, you could do, let's do a 4x4, or a 3x3. Let's do a 3 meter by 3 meter by 3 meter thick. Maybe let's actually jump that up to 5. Let's do a 5x5. Let's order the part, put it here. Now this is essentially, I hate the way, there's got to be a way to lower this part. I guarantee I've got a key binding in here that lowers that part. So that I can, oh, there you go. That way I can actually see the top of it. So maybe, you know, I guess so as looking into it here in the future, as you get going with this, it's probably going to be pretty beneficial to kind of build and just start putting parts together. So the good thing is these will actually slide in together like this, so you could run this all the way down and then do steps. You know, so you can have a set of steps. Now you can order different materials, so that's something that we can look at here in the near future. So you could run that out, make a step out, and then you could basically copy it out, make another one, do the same exact thing, and have a multi-tiered. There you go. So there's you a step off of your concrete platform. So I guess if you find the size, it's probably a good thing to actually put some pen and paper around and actually put stuff together and actually see how this stuff can go together. What's going to be your best sizes for size? Looks right now 20 by 20 is as big as you can do, which actually is a fairly decent size. Building the helicopter pads and everything out to the side of this is actually pretty cool. So I will continue to work on this. I promise we'll get better with the helicopter. All these parts that have winch cranes lift support with this, if we're bringing in a big old wall that's say a 12 by 12, maybe a meter or two, we could actually pull it in with a sky crane. I know that the ATVs, I know that the Bulldozer, I think is able to be selectable, which means if it's selectable, then it can be picked up. So I'm thinking the Bulldozer might be able to be picked up by the sky crane. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll maybe test that out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. That's going to be it for me today. I've gone a little bit more into this game what I wanted to, but it's hard to honestly put it down, and it's actually been quite a challenge getting it to this point. Considering that everything that's in this game has a form and a function to it. So the most complicated part is going to be actually getting all of the base stuff, the concrete, getting a proper foundation set in stone to where you can get up here. Is it going to let me climb up there? Yeah, there it goes. Where you can get a nice foundation, and you got nice little steps out here. But all these have different materials as well, so it's going to be finding what pieces work best for you, what pieces are going to look good together, and then putting different materials together. They have wood, they have brick, so you might want to do a brick foundation with a concrete floor, and then some type of a masonry or even a wood outside. They do have some of those. They have all roof trusses, windows, as you've seen, triples, doubles, singles. So I mean, literally as many boxes as you can build into a house. Now that doesn't mean that just because you can do a 20 by 20, that's where you have to stop. You can do a 20 by 20 and then add another 20 by 20 and another 20 by 20 and build a mansion on the top of this if you wanted to, which is something I think would be cool to start at some point. And then work our way back over to the side and just kind of add on to this thing, because once you kind of figure out how the vehicles work, I think the rest of it's going to start falling into shape, especially when it comes down to using like the sky crane here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun doing this, especially this game itself is really good. So I've dropped the link. Let me drop another one here. I know what's his name, Chuck, was going to do it. You guys want to know anything about it, head on over to Trino Games. They're out of Sweden. Go check out their forums. They've got some just what they can do in this. They've got all the kind of ins and outs of what they're able to do with the construction sim, what is planned for this sim. And then you can even throw support that way. So if you are on PC, you want to check this thing out, go check this game out, because I'm telling you, I don't think you're going to be disappointed by it. It will be up on Steam. It's actually already on Steam now, so you can add it to your wish list. Like I said, this is a pre-beta early access front on this, so it is part of their I guess they're giving it out to some YouTubers that they've kind of looked at some of their things and they've decided, hey, this guy would be good to do some things for us. So if you do, go over there, support them. They do have a YouTube channel as well. Go check that out. Go look through some of the gameplay. Get psyched about this game. I think it's going to be good. I mean, I'm literally giving you my honest opinions on things. I'm asking questions about it. They're not paying me to do this. They're just doing it because they want to see the community inside of this grow. And obviously, they're just trying to generate some hype and get actual footage out there to YouTube. So you guys go through them, support. I appreciate them, appreciate Trino, appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to do this. I hope I have done you well. I hope that we've asked some questions and I've asked some questions we get some clarification on later on. So guys, you've been awesome. I will see you all hopefully within the next couple of days. We'll be rolling out something new, possibly an ATS or ETS. I've got a new video series I'm going to do with pro mods on ETS, so maybe we can throw up some live streams or possibly some nice good recorded videos of ETS on the way up. We're actually going to go from I think we'll start out in Germany and we're actually going to go all the way through Finland all the way up to the Arctic Circle, so that is going to be fun. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. So a lot of good stops, bumps, jumps on the way, so that'll be good. Looking for that. And other than that, guys, Full Tilt Sawmill will be back next Friday. If you haven't, check that out. Obviously, thanks to Raptor and Rappack Gaming, all those guys for their endless support of me. I've got links to some of the video stuff that I've done with him. Also got TeamSpeak info. You want to ever just hop in, chat with all of us, please feel free to do so. That is open to everybody. So do that as well. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. I hope you've had a great one. I've had fun doing this, and we will see you all on the next go around.
Thank you.